Okay, getting ready for another record fair. Hello YouTubers, I'm on my way to Solna now to go to the record fair at Solnahallen and waiting now for a tram here in Alvik to take me the rest of the way to Solna. Let's see what we can find there this time. You can probably not hear what I'm saying here because it's very noisy from the traffic, but I'm at the Solnahallen. I'm just about to go to visit the record fair, so let's see how it is. I'm rather late this time, so maybe a bit late, but I usually get here a bit late, but there's usually lots of people here anyway, so let's see. Join me. Well, plenty of people this year as well. Time to do some digging.
Well, hello YouTubers. Very nice to see you again. I haven't been that active online, or I haven't been that active buying records lately either. Had other things going on. But today, as you may have seen in the earlier bit of this video, I've been to the record fair in Solna. Not the first time, and also not the first time I made a video about it. So, but never mind. So I thought I'm quite happy with what I managed to get hold of, so I'm going to show you now. What you heard in the background was a short excerpt from Mama Leon, which is of course the band based around the singer Lynn Carey. This is a reissue on the family, no sorry, is it? The family production? No, I think, well it is a reissue anyway. Great singer, Mama Leo, Lynn Carey, and a great band. They made sorry, 2 albums back then, in the early 70s. This is the first one. The second one I haven't got hold of yet. And then they made a, let's see, or an album with the material was issued a couple of years ago, called Gimme Some Lovin'. It looks like this. Got hold of that also today in Solnahallen. What else did I get? Well, I got this funny, not very official reissue of Maud Garson's Electric Score of Hair. Electric hair pieces. Very odd. Synthesizer music from 1969. Songs from the hippie musical Hair. Quite cheesy, but also quite fun. It's amazing what they could do with the Moog synthesizers way back as in 1969. And Mort Garson was a peculiar arranger, starting with, well, jazz and quite pleasant normal pop music before finding out, wow, there's this thing called synthesizer. I have to start working with that. And when he did that, he was maybe in mid-40s or something like that. That's impressive. Sorry. The Righteous Brothers, the best of the Righteous Brothers, a very nice compilation. I think it's probably from the early 80s or late 70s or something like this, but it is material from the mid 60s, from, well, both with or without Phil Spector. Bill Medley had such an amazing voice, or still has, probably, because he just had, I just read that he has reformed the Righteous Brothers, but with another singer, since, alas, the great Bobby Hatfield passed away a couple of years ago. But I look forward to hear the results. I'm quite sure that Bill Medley still has his voice, even though he's now in his mid 70s. Sometimes I think if the Righteous Brothers had appeared maybe 10 years earlier, in the, let's say, the first half of the 1950s, wouldn't they have become a bit like Elvis? I mean, white singers with really thick black voices? Not sure. Maybe. It's an interesting thought. Food for thought. Well, also, I found this very nice Stax compilation, Memphis Millions from 1973. It was still sealed. It isn't anymore because I buy records to play them. I found this probably not very, I'm not sure how legal it is, but it isn't, I don't think it's an official issue though. Focus in Concert 1973, it's a double album on the Progressive Vinyl Company label. Well, made under license, it says, so maybe it's alright. A new issue, although the recordings are from 1973. Recorded at the Paris Theatre in London, and some live television studio recordings made in London in 72 and 73. So haven't listened to it yet, but I look forward to listening to it later. Focus were great live as well. Okay, the Terriers, or how you pronounce it, tell the world about this. This is folk songs. It's on the Atlantic label, and when might this be recorded? I should have checked that actually, but I haven't. But it is probably early 60s, maybe late 50s. Very familiar songs like Take This Hammer, Boil Them Cabbage Down, You Can Tell the World, John Hardy, Dark as a Dungeon. And it is on, as I said, that's this lovely Atlantic label. Also very cheap. Another cheapie that I found was this compilation with Golden Earring. The greatest rock sensation, Golden Earring. It's on the Carousel Gold series. And that was like a subsidiary budget label under Polydor, with recordings from 1969 to 1973. It's a German pressing on Carousel. Always very fond of Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66. I didn't have this one before. Equinox. It is on the A&M label, like many of the early, I'm not sure from which year this is. I have to check that if I can find that info on the label. No, I can't, but I would guess late 60s. Sandra Williams, Miss Heartaches, Hark the Voice. In the edge between gospel and soul, it's on the Atlantic label. I'm very fond of the Atlantic in the 60s, as you may know. And not too familiar with her voice, but it is quite a lot of religious songs, gospel tunes, and also God Bless the Child, the Billie Holiday tune here. So I will look forward to listen to this later. Sandra Williams, Miss Heartaches, Hark the Voice, from 1967. Yeah, this is a bit of an oddity. I think you would place this in the country and western or country pop family. It's Goldie Hawn on the Reprise label. Well, she sings songs. She's singing "I'll Be Your Baby Tonight" by Bob Dylan, and she sings songs by Dolly Parton, and well, there are pics with her on the back sleeve together with Buck Owens, Porter Wagoner, and Dolly Parton. So it is fairly easy to guess that this has a bit of a country tint. And I've heard of this album many times. I've even seen it quite a few times, although often in either it's a bit too expensive to really take a chance, or it has been in poor condition. I got this very cheap, much cheaper than it says on the sticker here. So look forward to listening to that. I always liked Goldie Hawn as a comedian and actress, so we'll see whether I like her as a singer as well. Okay, then we have two more or less odd Swedish dance band issues. I can show them. This is Five Teddies. They started as a 60s beat group in the 60s, but then changed their direction and became a fairly popular dance band in the 70s. Then we have a Stockholm-based dance band, which isn't that common. They were called Larrys. They had a big hit in 1968 with a Swedish version of "Release Me." They had a Danish singer then, and his vocal rendition of the Swedish version of "Release Me" is called "Alla goda tingar till," beats Engelbert Humperdinck's version many times, because especially when they raise the key, there it really lifts. Yeah. Well, try to find it here on YouTube. Larrys, Alla goda tingar till. This is a later album from 1975 with more or less different people also. Well, the drummer and the leader of the group, Larry Nygren, is still here, and this is a bit of an odd issue on the Boll label. Don't ask. Okay, then for not that much, I found these two albums with the great jazz and fusion bass player Jaco Pastorius. It's Word of Mouth from 1981 on Warner Brothers, and then Invitation from 1983, also on Warner Brothers. I have only Jaco Pastorius' first album before, and I have really looked for them, even though I'm a great fan of his bass playing. But now I found these, and they were very cheap, so I got them. And over to some of the finer quotes in my book here. We have "And Now" by Booker T and the MGs from 1966. Very happy I found this. I'm a great fan of Stax and Booker T and the MGs, and it's very fun to find these original American pressings from the time. Back to Atlantic, Percy Sledge, Warm and Tender Love. Warm and Tender Soul. Yeah, but we have the song Warm and Tender Love on this album, and that's one of my favorite songs with Percy Sledge. So very happy I found this. It's a stereo issue from 1966 on Atlantic. Okay, The Bar Case, Gotta Groove on the Volt label from, I think, from 1969. Also very happy I found this. One of the best quotes this time. Sorry. I have a bit of a sore throat here. And another Stax record, Back to back, the Marquis and the Booker T and the MGs on the Stax label. Looks like this, very nice. From 1967. And then finally, some more Atlantic. The exciting Wilson Pickett on Atlantic. With, well, Land of a Thousand Dances and In the Midnight Hour. Very famous album, although I haven't had a really good copy of this before. But now I do. There. That's all for now. Thank you for watching and have a great time and day and night. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.